Let me do anime reviews so I can integrate with society. I don't really belong anywhere on the map because this stuff is like what? What is this? A business meeting? Sales proposition, copywriting? That's not really a topic. Right? That's not a topic people can relate with. Now, this shit, maybe. And it's not valuable, by the way, because people like clicking on these nice little titties. That's called advertising. People like to live in the city. Oh, work it out. I don't think you can work it out. I don't think people want to do copywriting for a living. They might have to, right? You sell some ads, right? It's like, well, I feel disgusted watching that. Well, you do a copyright plus the video and they'll think about buying it, right? That's what you have to do these days. You can't like just spam an ad and expect people to buy shit. And that's why it will dry up. Now, like I said, in my previous vid, if anyone was watching, it was going to dry up around, 2011, 2006. YouTube's supposed to be dead like 16 years ago if Google didn't buy it off. All we're doing is delaying the inevitable by like 2 decades. It's just all fake news. So when Google became profitable, they knew it was going to flatline. I talked about this before, right? Because AdBlock and the creator of YouTube, right, before Sundar bought it in 05 or 06, they were best friends, probably. And so he saw AdBlock coming, so what does he do? It's time to sell out. That's all he had to do. And here's the other thing. A lot of YouTubers in the past didn't talk about how they made money before. They did door-to-door sales, right? They wanted to abandon that model. So they wanted to cash out, and that's why they sold it to Google. Because Google doesn't know what profit model they use to survive. Like, nothing is straightforward about any of this, by the way. A lot of the YouTubers want to lie. So their excuse was, a lot of the original ones, I think Fred knows about it. Yeah, you had to do door-to-door sales. Why do you think he left, right? I said the first victim of censorship was Fred. Right? Fred was actually getting more honest in his vids. My guess is that Fred wanted to tell the truth about how YouTube actually made money, and he knew that Google was in on a scam, was going to get scammed soon, if it wasn't part of the scam. Right? So he got taken down because they saw he was talking about it. It's like, you know, Fred, if you do a YouTube video, we're just going to have to get rid of you. And they were trying, and Fred was going to warn the advertisers that were going to get scammed. That's why he got taken down. And people like Fred didn't want to say anything, so he got bullied into not talking about it. But what he forgot, and since he's not speaking out about it now after he got banned, is probably they weren't plain about it at all. They sent a lot of recommendations saying not to talk about it or he's dead, right? People like to be really passive-aggressive on the YouTube algorithm. I know because I've had... Oh, God. I think I've had the NSA, like, fucking, like, post a death sign with me next to a YouTube video. Right? And Muckle Teal did, too. Right? And so did the 50 Sage. They just abused and harassed me. Do I look like I give a fuck anymore? Right? I don't care. People are just assholes. They don't like to admit when they're wrong. They like to bully the weak, regardless of what side you're on. That's why I'm an SJW. Because I actually stand for the weak and powerless. Right? So now I don't give a fuck what my opposition is, no matter how many subscribers it is. You just take them down, period. If they're a threat. Yeah, Fred wanted to speak out. He got taken down by a collective, right? They wanted to dick around in the advertising money. They wanted to scam the advertisers of their money. If you're hearing this, Pewds, you did the right decision leaving, right? Because they would have bullied you too if you spoke out, because you would have made the most money. Right? Because you wouldn't have to do door-to-door sales as much, right? You're number one. It would make you look really good. No, seriously, Fred got taken down because of that. And so a lot of the YouTubers want to dig around. They don't want to like help the advertisers make any fucking cash. You wouldn't have to change your mind on anything. That's the great thing about being number one. You don't have to do it. and you maintain you gain credibility. That's why I got Fred got tickets, because he didn't want to play the game. They want to delay the collapse, so they arranged the deal with the YouTube creator indirectly to get it sold by Google. Soon deal with the ATM machine, so the delay of YouTube can be pushed back. Censorship was timed so the delay can get time further. It's because they knew if the advertisers were milked too much, right, then they wouldn't be able to make as much money, right? Right, so it would be last 6 years instead of 16. So we're delaying the collapse for a while now. You have to do door-to-door sales. Now, a lot of the YouTubers who knew what was happening, they're probably like below PewDiePie, right? You would have to ask them if they even fucking remember. That's the funny part. That's the really depressing part. Do you really want to remember that? Because you know you did it. Now, does he know? No, he doesn't know about it. He just got to #1 run at the time, right? He doesn't fucking know what... you can't read people's mind. You don't know when they're in on a scam. Right? They knew there was no money, and they got money the easy way, right? Play ads online. That's the scam. The reality is you got a copyright. That's what they did in the past. You got a door-to-door sales along with YouTubing. Because door-to-door sales, so YouTubing came alive, one of the reasons is because door-to-door sales wasn't as effective. Right? It just wouldn't work. So what was going to happen? Customers needed another reason to buy shit. That's why you have shit like this out here. The videos, the additional advert, they wanted more advertisement, right? In addition to copywriting. This is how you get people to buy shit, right? Door-to-door sales, please buy my shit, just isn't enough. So YouTube was ran by people from Windmere Real Estate, right? So if you looked up how Windmere Real Estate split, I don't know if I still have it, but fuck if I know. So I don't know if I fucking have it, but Windmere Real Estate did a split with someone a while back. Now, they're considered a scam, but they were a scam a while back, right? There's accusations of it being a scam. So how did they sell products, right? Well, they did not simply sell stuff like companies like this. I'm not saying they did it, right? But companies like this didn't merely just advertise on Windmere. What they did was they did something indirect, right? It was part of a multi-layer system. So they chose to sell people, because you can sell to people because they wanted to have so it's part of a scam called enhanced conversation, right? So if you can't converse with them and get them to buy real estate through that, you notice as a real estate guy, you can get them to buy stuff if you can relate to them. You see where this is going? Right? You clue them in saying, hey, I can offer you another product, right, for free. In return, I think you're 20% more likely to buy my real estate product, right? It was a game of probability and risk. It was a very dicey game. So they set up different YouTube, I call Barrier Island accounts, right? That talk about anime reviews, they talk about dog videos, and what they would do is they would send personal lovely letters to them. By the way, the people who did that dicked around and retired later. So Windmere, if you want to go look for them, you're not finding them. Right? And who would come up with that would be the 19 star constellations. Now, do they even remember what the fuck they're doing these days? Well, a lot of the people who, by the way, they're just like employers. Like the employees of the employers. They just say, fuck you, I'm leaving. Fuck you, I really don't fucking care about you guys. I'm going to dick around, right? And scam Google into buying this product called YouTube. Now, doesn't mean you can't use it someday. But if you want to opt, it might not be worth opting in at this point. Because you don't have to change anything you do. You just become more credible, that's all. That's the saddest part of all. And then, can you imagine how the other YouTubers feel about that? They'll be pissed the fuck off, right? I'm the most credible guy. I don't have to change anything about myself. In fact, the entire system is built on me not changing a damn single thing about myself. Because I'm #1, I'm a promotional vector. I just recommend people.